Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Frightening encounters with vicious creatures, or surprising incidents in the wild. The world would still be a mystery if it was not for the cameras capturing everything for us. Hold on to see some of these insane realities caught on camera that will shock you to your core. Catching great white shark. Attempting to catch the largest fish off the coast of Pensacola, these guys finally got lucky when one of them reeled in a massive great white shark. It was a 4-meter-long shark, which they caught right after dropping the bait in the sea. Tiger sharks are considered an endangered species, especially on the Gulf Coast, where only a few of them are left in the water. Therefore, once these people had admired the incredible creature, they released the shark into the sea. Orangutan in flooded river. God help those who help themselves. And this proverb became true for this poor orangutan who accidentally fell into a raging water. The animal tried his best to not get drowned and held on for dear life. But just when it was about to give up, God sent it a help in the form of this kind man coming up with a log. The animal, exhausted from the long stranding, gave a final push to save itself by using the log to reach the dry land. There it goes, dangling to the branches and making its way back in the wild. Lion breaks down. The incredible safari site turned into a distressing event when the tourists spotted a lion struggling in the wild. Initially circling in exhaustion, it was not until the lion fell and began trembling on the ground they realized it was probably dealing with something much bigger. Well, it was actually a stroke of seizure. This condition, although rare, usually happens in big cats due to genetic epilepsy, a brain disorder that eventually leads to these severe convulsions. But luckily, this one was immediately brought to the hospital and was saved by the wildlife authorities. Man pet shark. Danger is just a word for this guy. And shark? Well, it's just another innocent creature from the wild. A man was exploring the waters of Florida when he noticed a great white breaching near his boat. It was a huge shark looking for prey. So, what did he do? He moved even more closer to the shark and petted the ferocious predator while it continuously tried to bite him. Luckily, the shark moved back too, without causing any harm to the guy. Orangutan hijacks boat. Generally friendly towards people, orangutans sometimes decide to show their true selves. Here in Bukit Lawang, a small village of Indonesia, this man left his boat unattended for literally for a few seconds and came back with this wild ape seated on it. It started a never-ending fight between the two. Because the more he tried to get rid of the hijacker, the more he provoked him. Finally, there it was, one last strike by the bandit to indicate that it is not going anywhere. Zombie moose. Something strange is happening in the woods that's turning these healthy adult moose into wild zombies. Observing their strange behavior for a while now, experts have decided to disclose the reason behind the weird actions. Apparently, it's a small brain worm that has turned moose into weirdly behaving animals. It simply damages brain activity and makes these majestic animals lose their hearing, strength, and in worse cases, it can even paralyze the moose. But this one was spotted on time and was saved by the authorities. Fish inside whale. An intense pursuit of its prey led the whale to wash up on the beach. The colossal animal was spotted by a group of men who instantly began the efforts to release it back into the ocean. With the reason behind its sudden stranding unknown to them, it was after some time they noticed a fish inside the whale's mouth. It explained everything, as experts believe it breached itself while hunting, but couldn't manage to go back and ended up here. Luckily, the people spotted it on time and helped the animal to go back into the ocean. Circling deer. Is it just me, or do these deer really have a chilling vibe? Well, actually, Neither under a demonic entity nor a usual round around, this circling deer is actually behaving odd due to a rare condition known as chronic wasting disease. It completely affects the brain functioning of deer. Although it's not known how these animals develop the disease because they usually start showing symptoms after 1 year of being infected, and sometimes don't even show any at all, which becomes the main reason why there are no proper treatments for the fatal disease till now. Reindeer jumps oddly. This massive animal got the attention of people when it was spotted jumping oddly in the freezing temperatures of Norway. It sometimes happens in the reindeer due to a brain disease, but here, well, looked like the consequence of a disease turned out to be a defensive act. As the poor reindeer was under attack, there was a wolverine clinging hard to its face, who was not ready to let go. But again, surprising the people who thought this might be its end, it eventually beat the predator and ran towards the wild. Red crabs migration. Millions of them! Well, millions might be a small number to justify their strength, because turning the beach red, they have spread all over the land. This incredible phenomena occurs literally every year when a large number of crabs migrate towards the Red Island for a significant reason. They move here to spawn. Once they have mated, females will lay their eggs in small burrows. Each of them will give birth to about 100,000 crabs that will hatch in a 3-week span. Man picks jellyfish. Here is another epic encounter with the wild to shock you guys. This guy, during his usual stroll on the beach, stumbled upon a giant jellyfish. The fish had recently died, and it is believed by experts that even an expired Peruvian jellyfish can give a noxious sting. But this dude, instead of hurling it back, deliberately grabbed the dangerous jellyfish. One of the reasons was its rarity, as they are one of the most endangered species of jellyfish. Well, I'm not sure about you guys, but for me, nothing would ever be enough to explain the guy's insane stunt, Pygmy Whale Release Inc. Whatever you may do, never dare to go near a pygmy whale. It doesn't matter how innocent they might appear to you. These brutal hunters have concealed in them a fatal weapon enough to give anyone a miserable ending. Okay, not to anyone. But when under attack, these whales can release a bomb of fluid towards their predator that would instantly obscure their vision. They store the inky liquid in their intestines and use it as a shield against predatory attacks. Man rides whale. Taking animal rescue to a whole new level, a man jumped over a huge whale when he found it entangled with a fishing line. It was captured off the coast of California when a whale came closer to a boat and the guy noticed that it was actually seeking help. Not hesitating for even a second, the guy fearlessly jumped over the massive whale, cut the fishing wire, and returned to the boat safe and sound. Buffalo hits rescuers. A few buffaloes were seen trapped in the mud that brought the rescuers to the scene, and they immediately started with the efforts to save them. But who knew that one of the buffalo was blaming the guys for its misery? So, planning a long revenge, the moment it came out of the mud, it started the strike and literally missed the guy from inches. The team then used ropes to drag the buffalo from the mud and finally saved it. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. On her usual visit to the beach, a girl noticed a manta ray that had beached itself. It was alive at that time, so the girl contacted the marine authorities to rescue it. Even though they arrived in no time, it was too late to rescue the ray, as it had already expired. But it turned out to be a huge discovery for the researchers, as the manta ray weighed 550 pounds. It was so big that the team had to use the excavator to remove it from the beach. It was the first time a manta ray of this size was caught on the shore, and the scientists are hopeful that this discovery will prove helpful in knowing more about the species. See you next time.